Hello everyone, welcome back to the review of Unit 7, Hotel Hell. Now, earlier we talked about in the preview, these four men came up with this harebrained scheme and plan to essentially over 6 months record every room in this one hotel in Yangpyeong. And in the terrible situation, they started to blackmail people and contact them and say, if you don't essentially give us money, we're going to release your video of you or something like that. Harebrained.
Harebrained.
And it brings up a very important question about how do they get the contact information? And how do they just at will decide to contact these people over 6 months? Was it one rogue employee who was in the know and involved in this, or did they pay off the hotel? There's a lot of unanswered questions about this that have to be found out. Rogue.
Rogue.
People are very concerned that these four men might just get a slap on the wrist because thankfully, none of the victims of this situation actually paid or did anything in this blackmail situation. Right. They just ignored or sought the police, and the four men never got any money, which is good.
Which is good.
A slap on the wrist.
A slap on the wrist.
Terrible situation that happened, but they need to be held liable and punished for their act. And it also brings up a separate question people have about should people be able to buy like very small 1mm cameras? The stated purpose is sometimes for building things or inventing and maybe science purposes, but why do you really need it? Because you can hide them easily. They can be used for other reasons than what's stated in the manufacturing. So hopefully there is legislation or laws made to punish these people more severely in the future. State.
State.
Now, I wanted to ask a question about the businesses. Is that should they be held responsible for bad behavior, maybe one or two rogue employees, or are they not liable for this?
I think it depends on the situation, but the business definitely hired the employees,
right?
And gave them, access to the hotel rooms, and is responsible ultimately for monitoring them and maintaining the hotel. So in this situation, it is their responsibility to make sure that their hotel rooms do not have bugs or cameras.
Right.
And with the way things are in the world today, this is not the first time this has happened. So I think that as a hotel owner in this day and age, that is something you need to be looking for because it's happened before and it's happened again, and it will happen again in the future. So in this hotel situation, I think there is reason for the hotel to be held accountable for this particular issue, but maybe not in all situations. You have to think about, was it something that the business could monitor, something that the business had knowledge of, and maybe should they have known ahead of time? Did the person they hired have a record of doing bad things in the past? So did they properly screen the employees for the job that they're going to do? And if they did everything they could to prevent a situation like that, then maybe they shouldn't be held accountable, but often cases, I think they have knowledge or ways of knowing they should know what their employees are doing at work.
Yeah, I think
ideally.
Yeah, right.
What do you think?
Well, most hotels obviously have a lot of CCTVs, have a lot of cameras in different places. It kind of makes me wonder, how did they get a camera in every room and for 6 months? And, without much of the technical knowledge or information about this case, this little camera had to be, or I'm assuming, sending this signal, recording something to something, a Bluetooth or through Wi-Fi, something. And maybe in that case, in the future, there could be a more industry standard of kind of sweeping these hotels and for checking for bugs or recording things or other signals other than your Wi-Fi unit. there could be that kind of law or
Right.
industry standard that goes
Right.
forward, because there have been past cases of another video cameras put in different spots of a hotel,
Yeah.
and that was signal live. That's scary, very creepy.
Yeah, it
and
is.
should hotels check every 3, 4, 6 months? Like, this is going on 6 months.
6 months is a long time
Right.
to have cameras in the rooms without
Yeah.
knowing about it.
And how were they installed? Did a cleaning person do it, or did they record guests, weird guests going in? Like a lot of unanswered questions.
Right.
All right. Well, that's it for our review section, and hope to see you on the next unit.